The night of the company's annual holiday party was meant to be joyful, a chance to unwind after a long year of hard work. I had even taken the day off to make it special. My wife, Melissa, had been preparing for weeks, talking nonstop about her outfit, her makeup, and her shoes. I thought she just wanted to look her best, maybe to impress people a little. But when we arrived at the Grand Hotel ballroom, I realized her excitement wasn't about the celebration itself. It was about being the center of attention. The moment we stepped inside, she seemed to come alive in a way I hadn't seen in years. She drifted from one group to another, laughing, touching arms, and flashing smiles that used to belong only to me. I stood near the bar, holding 2 glasses of champagne, watching her dance and flirt like she didn't have a husband in the room. Every man's eyes were on her, and she was soaking it in. At first, I tried to brush it off, pretending to be the supportive husband who didn't mind. But then I noticed her with Eric, one of her coworkers. Tall, confident, and far too comfortable around her. The way she looked at him lit a fire of humiliation deep inside me. She leaned in close, laughed too hard at his jokes, and even touched his tie like they shared a secret. I saw a few people glance in my direction, whispering. One woman even gave me a sympathetic look, the kind that says, "You don't deserve this." My chest tightened, but I forced a smile and acted unbothered. Inside, though, the anger was simmering. Then came the breaking point. The music slowed, and Eric offered his hand to Melissa. She hesitated, just for a moment, long enough to look at me, and then she took it. My wife, swaying in another man's arms under the soft lights, while everyone watched. I could hear laughter, whispers, the rustle of dresses, and the pounding of my own heart. I tried to convince myself it was just a dance, but it wasn't. It was deliberate. A message meant for me. When the song ended, she returned with flushed cheeks and bright eyes. "Relax," she said, brushing my arm. "It was just a dance." Those words echoed in my head like a taunt. I smiled back, but that smile carried a decision, not forgiveness. I set my drink down, walked to the DJ booth, and whispered something to him. He looked startled but nodded. The music faded, and I took the microphone. The crowd turned toward me, including her. My voice was calm when I spoke. "I just want to take a moment to thank everyone for being here tonight," I said. "Especially my wife, Melissa." Her smile wavered. "She's been quite the performer this evening, and I think she deserves some recognition." A few nervous laughs scattered through the room. I kept going. Melissa always says I don't show her enough appreciation in public, so tonight, I thought I'd change that. I reached into my pocket and pulled out a small velvet box, one I'd brought weeks ago, planning to surprise her with a necklace. I opened it slowly. Inside wasn't jewelry, but her wedding ring. "Here," I said quietly, holding it up. "This belongs to someone who values their marriage. If you find that woman tonight, please let me know." The room went dead silent. The only sound was the clinking of glasses. Melissa's face turned pale. She took a step toward me, whispering, "What are you doing?" But I wasn't finished. I set the box on a nearby table. "You've spent the night flirting with everyone in this room while I pretended it didn't hurt," I said. "But this," I gestured to the crowd, "this is where it ends." I gave a genuine smile, handed the microphone back, and walked away. For a few seconds, no one moved. Then came a few gasps, some whispers, and one slow clap that broke the silence. I didn't look back. She called after me as I left the ballroom, pleading for me to stop, but I didn't. I got into my car and drove off into the cold December night. As the city lights blurred past the windshield, I realized something I should have understood long ago. Love can't survive if it's built on humiliation. When I got home, I placed a ring on the counter, packed a small bag, and checked into a hotel. I didn't text or call. I just needed space. Space to remember who I was before I became invisible. By morning, my phone was overflowing with messages from her, from coworkers, from mutual friends. Some said I went too far. Others said I did what any man would have done. Melissa's texts were filled with apologies and promises, but none of it mattered. For the first time in years, I didn't feel small. I felt seen. I felt in control. Weeks later, She showed up at my door, tears streaming down her face, saying she wanted to fix things. I listened, calm and quiet. When she finished, I simply said, "You can't rebuild a marriage on humiliation." Then I closed the door, not in anger, but in peace. That night, the one where she laughed like I didn't exist, became the night I finally remembered that I did. Walking away broke my heart, but it also set me free. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do isn't to fight or seek revenge. It's to leave with your dignity intact.